Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an organizer and may now speak to any other organizers or panelists on the line. When you are ready to begin the presentation, press the Start Broadcast button on the GoToWebinar control panel to allow all attendees to hear you. This system will notify you once you begin your broadcast. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, so we are going to start with the third lecture of performance of RP5. Today we are going to resume our performance measurement part. In the last video, we have discussed about balanced scorecard and performance and building block model. Today we are going to continue with the same concept, and we will do two more questions. If time allow, we will start with the third question as well. And after doing these 2 to 3 questions, in the next sitting, we will be doing performance prism, one question of performance prism. So we will be done with all theoretical part of CSF, KPIs, and everything. And then we will start responsibility centers, responsibility centers from the next class, from that class. So this is basically what's the future plan of this P5 is with respect to 2 to 3 classes. Now, as we discussed in the previous lecture, that there are 4 basic quadrants of balance scorecard: customer perspective, financial perspective, customer perspective, internal business perspective, and learning and innovation. And all non-financial indicators are really very important if company wants to see what is expected to happen in future. And then we discussed building block model. In building block model, Fitzgerald building block model, we have considered 3 major parts that includes standard, rewards, and dimensions. In the standards, we considered equality of a standard, ownership of a standard, attainable standard. In reward part, we discussed clarity of reward, motivation. Reward should be motivating. Reward should be based on controllable factor. And in determinants, dimensions, we discussed 2 parts. Determinants, that is the quality of service, resource utilization, flexibility, innovation, and results include competitive performance and financial performance. So this is basically what we did in the last class, right? Now, today we are going to accelerate with what we did in the last class, and let's see what we can learn from these 2 to 3 questions. Let's start with doing that. Now, this is again a past P5 question, which has been examined as in part A. Let's start with its requirement first. Let's see what are the basic requirement of this question, and then we'll come back to the question. Now, it says write a report to the CEO. Write a report to the CEO to explain the characteristics that differentiate service business from manufacturing ones, using the company to illustrate your point. This is the first point. The second thing which it says is to evaluate. Now, the first requirement is something which we have already studied in very basic classes, where in F2, where we were introduced about the service costing, what are the service sector, how the service sector operates. There we have learned some basic characteristics, how we can identify any organization to be a service sector or not. So this is a very basic knowledge brought forward kind of question. The second one is very important part. The second one, it says evaluate. Evaluate, in the last class we have already discussed that evaluate means you have to critically evaluate whatever is in the business. You have to highlight that point. Whatever is good in the business, you have to highlight that, and whatever is not present in that particular model, or if there is any deficiency in the model, you have to highlight that as well, along with the reason why you think that that is important. Now it says evaluate the current strategic performance report and the choice of the performance matrices used in appendix number 1. Now it's very important to understand the requirement. Requirement says evaluate the let me just a second. All right. It says evaluate the current strategic performance. Current, you just have to evaluate the current strategic performance report. This is something which you have to evaluate. Now, what examiner said in his report, he said that students start analyzing the performance of the company. Students are not required to analyze what company did wrong, what company did right. Students are supposed to highlight what is good or what is bad is within so what is good or what is bad in this particular report. You have to highlight plus and minuses of this particular report. So that is very important thing. And the second requirement, choice of the performance matrices used in appendix number 1. We will see what these choices are in the question. So this is basically the second requirement, that is for 8 marks. Then it says evaluate the outline balance scorecard in table number 1 at the company suggesting suitable improvements. That is for 12 marks. Again, CSF and probably something related to CSF and KPI, and describe the difficulties in implementing using the balance scorecard at the company. This is basically what we did in the last class, considering the problems of problems regarding implementation of balance scorecard and building block model. And then it says explain the purpose of setting targets which are challenging and evaluate the standard and rewards for the hotel manager performance reward system as requested by the CEO. That's for 14 marks. So let's start with the discussion. First of all, we are supposed to evaluate. All right. Again, first of all, we are required to evaluate the current study performance. Let's see what we can do. Yes.